Hey everyone, this is Bola Shokumbi. I'm the founder and CEO of Clever Girl Finance. I'm also the author of the Clever Girl Finance book series and the new book, Choosing to Prosper. Welcome to Clever Girl Finance TV. So in today's video, we're going to talk about 6 reasons why failure is the first step to success. But before we get into the video, I'd love for you to share in the comments below, what are your biggest fears when it comes to failing or achieving success? If you feel comfortable, leave a comment below. I would really love to know. So the truth is that we have all been conditioned in one way or the other to avoid the discomfort of failure. However, failure is the stepping stone to succeeding and achieving your biggest life dreams. And when you look at the world's most notable names, they have all experienced massive failures at one point or the other in their lives. Look at the people that you admire, whether they're famous or not, and you will realize that they have experience all kinds of failures, especially when you start to explore their backgrounds and their stories. And so failure is something that we should not be afraid of. Instead, we should embrace it. But what does failure being a stepping stone to success really mean? So it's important to look at failure from the proper perspective. Failure is not a final state. It simply means that you fall short of hitting a goal or an objective, right? Or even a specific outcome. But when you think about it, don't we all fall short at one point or the other in our lives? For example, you might have a plan to become debt-free by a certain date, but you might miss that mark by a month, by 2 months, by 6 months, by a year, but you still achieve your goal. So yes, you failed at becoming debt-free by X date, but eventually, right, after you overcame your hurdles, you still achieved your goal of becoming debt-free. And that in itself is a success. So you can't define something as a failure simply because you didn't reach your target by a certain date or deadline. So with that said, let's get into 6 reasons why failure is a stepping stone to success. Number 1, failure teaches you lessons that you wouldn't learn otherwise. Sometimes life's biggest lessons cannot be learned by theory. They have to be learned by actual experience. For example, you can tell a little kid as much as you want to not to touch a hot stove, and they may listen. However, when they do actually touch the hot stove and they experience the burning sensation, they will never forget what it's like to touch a hot stove, and it's very likely that they will do everything it takes going forward in the future to avoid that hot stove. And so the same applies to life lessons that come from us experiencing failure. Sometimes we have to experience the failure to glean these life lessons. But the key here is that we don't dwell in the failure. Instead, we recognize that we have failed. Yes, this has happened. And then we look out for the lessons that we can take away from that situation. And that leads me to my next point. You learn what not to do the next time. So as I just mentioned, when you fail, when you get those experiences from failing, you have this ammunition that you can use for the next time. You know what not to do, you know what to avoid, but it's really important that you take time to assess what went wrong and what caused the failure. A classic example of learning what not to do the next time is when you are driving and you don't have any navigation and you get lost. You are frustrated, you have lost time, and so the next time you go down that same path towards that same destination, when you get to that point where you made that wrong turn in the past, you will remember that this was that point and you will take the right direction. And so this is how failure helps us learn what not to do the next time. Number 3, you can use failure for motivation. Failure can be a form of motivation. Failing at something can be the fire under your butt to motivate you to try again, right? Look at little babies when they're learning how to walk. They fall down a million times and they get up a million times more because they're so determined to achieve their goals. And so to get clear on your determination, you have to come up with a why. Why do you want to achieve this goal despite failure? And let that be your motivation to keep going. It could be to prove to yourself. It could even be to prove to others that you can do it, but you want to leverage the failure that you have experienced as motivation to keep moving forward. If you're enjoying this video so far, I would love for you to hit the like button below, subscribe to this channel, and stop by clevergirlfinance.com. So did you know that we update the Clever Girl Finance website and blog multiple times a day with fresh content, brand new articles? Well, if you don't know that, now you do know, and I'd love for you to stop by the website to check out these brand new articles that we publish multiple times a day. We also have over 30 plus completely free courses on the Clever Girl Finance website that you can check out as well. Okay, let's get back to these tips. Number 4, you can use your experiences of failure to teach other people. So the great thing about life's lessons and failures is that they're not just for us. A lot of times our experiences, our stories, the way we pick ourselves back up can be helpful to somebody else on their own journey. It can also help them see what mistakes to avoid based on our own experiences. So imagine if you look at people you admire and you never learned about the failures that they had or the negative experiences that they had. You may not really have had such an impactful learning lesson from them, right? That caused you to look at them as an inspiration. And so that failure is really, really important in being able to not just help ourselves with the lessons we learn from it, but also being able to help other people learn from our own mistakes as well. Number 5, failure builds the resilience that is necessary for success. So what is the biggest difference between failure and then achieving success in life? It is that resilience in the middle, in between the failure and the success. And resilience is the ability to bounce back or get back up after facing adversity or failure. And so being able to build resilience, being able to stay motivated despite failing is an incredible process. It is necessary for us to be able to achieve that success that we truly desire. It is, however, important to remember that in order to build resilience, you have to experience failure and you have to face hardship. There's no way around this building of resilience. And it also comes from experience and learning from our failures and taking those lessons to apply them to the next time. And number 6, failure causes you to reevaluate your goals. An important byproduct of failing is that it gives us the opportunity to reassess our goals. Once we have failed, we can take a good hard look at our goals and really ask ourselves, that thing that you were aiming for, that you did not achieve, is that something that you even really wanted for yourself? Or were you aiming to achieve it for the wrong reasons? So for example, let's say that you have been preparing for months to land your dream job at your dream company, and you go through the interview process and you do not get this job. Upon reflection, upon reassessing this goal, you may actually realize that that was not the company or that was not the industry you wanted to work for. And that does not diminish your goals. Instead, it allows you to reassess and restructure your goals in the best way for yourself. And so had you not experienced that failure or that setback, you may not have had the opportunity to really assess that goal or that career path that you were pursuing. And so really taking time to reflect on our goals when we have a setback, when we face adversity, when we fail, is really an important opportunity for us to just, look at the big picture and say, is this goal that I'm pursuing, is this thing I just failed trying to achieve something that I truly want? If it is something that you truly want, then you dust yourself back up, you restructure your plan, and you go hard towards achieving that goal. However, if you realize that, wait a minute, I really don't want this, then again, you can readjust, create brand new goals, and then put all your efforts towards achieving success by achieving those goals. So as you can see, failure is never final, and there are so many lessons that we can learn and so many opportunities that we can gain from failing. And failure is unavoidable. So it's something that we should all embrace. I embrace failing in my own life because it gives me an opportunity to learn. It gives me an opportunity to reassess, to get motivated, and to go hard towards achieving my goals and proving to myself that I can actually do it. So with that said, I want you to readjust your view of failure and look at failing as a stepping stone towards your future success. I hope you guys have enjoyed watching this video. If you have, please hit the like button below, subscribe to this channel, share your thoughts in the comments, and visit clevergirlfinance.com to check out our blog that we update on a daily basis, and also to check out our over 30+ completely free courses. I will talk to you guys next time.